The arena poll.
Oh, sorry, there's been so much going on today.
I know, the arena poll.
Well, you know, I could quibble about the methodology and the questions. There's some quibbling to be done on those. But that said, I think it pretty much just highlights what I've been saying for months and months and months. A good portion of Calgarians think we need a new arena, and very few of them want public funding without any payback. And that's the one thing I'm sad about. I would have liked if they'd asked that question. Who wants public funding that you're not going to get any money back on? And it didn't ask that question, unfortunately. But it very clearly said, a lot of reasonable Calgarians are saying, yeah, put money in as long as you get it out. And that's how I read it anyway.
But they're using the poll they put up release as basically that they sort of a pro-deal poll.
Well, I think everybody's pro-deal. But the question is, for how much? And that's the key. And the weird thing about this poll, I guess it was helpful in this way, but it only asked about, would you be in favor of money if we got the loan back with interest? Would you be in favor of money if we shared revenues? Would you be in favor of money if it had no impact on your taxes? Oh, and by the way, giving land is the same as giving money, because you could always sell the land for money. Giving money from savings is the same as giving money. So what we heard is that Calgarians, even a slim majority of Calgarians, would give public money if you got it back with interest, if you shared in the revenues, and if it had no impact on your taxes. And that's what I've been saying for months.
You said before that the Green Line can't be built piecemeal. What do you think of today's news about Stage 1?
Well, I don't call it that because I think that's actually not what to call it. What we're talking about, what was released today, which we'll have a good discussion about on Monday, is the opening day plan. There is a ton of construction that needs to be done, and what administration has come back with is said, okay, you got to build at least this much to run it. So the idea is that on opening day in 2026, we could have this much built. And pending funding, we would still be building. We wouldn't stop at that point, but at least we'd be able to start service at that point. And that's really, it's a very helpful question, because I think what a lot of people didn't understand is that the whole project is not only so expensive, it's so big that it's many, many, many years of construction. And so to have the answer to what can you start while you're still building the rest is very helpful.
Is it the right 20 kilometers to build out of the gate?
That's an excellent question, and that is one that I think Council will have a lot to discuss about on Monday. Administration argues that because of the land acquisitions that are needed in the north, that this is what you could build on opening day. If you sort of flipped it and did the other 20 kilometers first, then you wouldn't be able to open in 2026. We just don't have the land yet.
It's been sold as, in the past, 40K for $4.5 billion, and now it's 20 for $4.6. Where's that discrepancy? That's
Oh, it's not pretty big. It's gigantic. It's huge. And this has been the issue with the Green Line for some time, which is that Council, in making design choices, such as it has to be underground downtown in the Beltline, has significantly added to the cost. We still also have land acquisition that has turned out to be a little more expensive than we thought. Outside of the downtown core, the cost of the Green Line is very much in line with what you build rail for, roughly $100 million a kilometer, what we have built rail for and what we will build rail for. The cost escalation is really due to the $2 billion in the downtown core. And it is the right thing to do. But as I've said to Council many times, Council has to make a decision on, is good enough, or do we build the right thing, understanding that that will push out the costs of the rest of the program. And Council's been pretty clear that they want to build it properly the first time, even if that means it takes longer to build the rest.
With what we see on Monday, is that going to be good enough for the province, you think?
I should think so. One of the reasons that we're having this discussion on Monday is because the province has been asking for more specificity. I'm not criticizing them in any way. They're doing exactly the right thing, asking for more specificity and ensuring that we've got our numbers and our ducks in a row before they start making decisions. So the Monday council meeting is not a decision, but it's a big information release for everyone to see where we're at, including the province, so that the province as well has the opportunity to determine if this is a project they'll invest in. And I should say all indications are it is a project they would invest in.
One last question, folks, and we got to go.
Will this change that?
I'm sorry?
Downtown was an in-principle decision decision to go underground, will this change that?
That's precisely, now council won't be making any decisions on Monday, but that is precisely the question the council will be grappling with on Monday.
But do you think there's appetite to change that underground?
Well, as I say, council has to make a decision. Build more of it earlier or take it underground downtown, and that's the decision. So far, council has been pretty clear that underground downtown is the way they would go, but they haven't seen all of this yet.
So what is your reaction, sir, that 2/3 of your legal bill has now been raised?
So I heard that in the news today. You know, these volunteers have been working hard on this. I should explain what it is, because sometimes people are a little bit confused. So the City of Calgary's policy is to indemnify people against frivolous lawsuits, to indemnify all city employees, including city councillors, against frivolous lawsuits. Just like Stockwell Day was indemnified when he was an MLA, just like Michelle Rempel and all other MPs are indemnified today against any prospective lawsuits. I myself said that's great and that's right, because we have to discourage frivolous lawsuits against public servants. But I also said, you know, if I've got the means or the ability to pay the city some of that back, or to have people pay the city some of that back, I should do it. And in fact, I said I'd like to pay it all back, because it's just not a good use of public money. The policy is right, and it needs to be in place, and many politicians have benefited from it. But I also thought if there's an ability to pay the city back, we should. So these volunteers have been working hard on this. I unfortunately have been barred from taking part in it. But I think it's a good thing that they're doing it, and I'm pleased that they've done so well.
Were you surprised that donors get tax receipts?
I wasn't surprised because I happen to know a lot about that field from my previous life. So the deal is that I heard a couple of people say, including a member of council who frankly should have known better because he voted on the policy, say that, oh, you're reimbursing the mayor. That's not true at all. The city paid the bill long ago, as it should. This is actually a donation to the city, and I know that the city consulted with tax experts, because this is a federal and provincial tax receipt, not a city tax receipt, to be clear. And people give money to the city all the time. There's benches behind me that were donated to the city. And the answer was, if it's a donation to the city, you can't treat them differently. That some get federal provincial tax receipts and some don't. So donations to the city get them, and it's up to the donor on whether or not they want to use them.
Is it appropriate, though?
Well, it's the law.
Could you ask them to stop that practice?
No, because it's the law. And unfortunately, I don't have the power to change the Income Tax Act. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't.
Guys, we have to get going.
What are your thoughts on the 8 councillors getting together and pulling money to do the survey?
No, I mean, that's absolutely their prerogative. I believe in evidence-based decision-making, so good for them for getting some more data. I wasn't asked. I think there were other members of council who don't recall being asked. I certainly was not. But good for them for doing it. Had I been asked, I might have asked some better questions, but good for them for getting data.
What kind of questions?
Well, the simple one. Are you in favor of public funding for this arena that would not be paid back?
So do you think that was, do you think they were trying to make a case, using the poll to sort of make a case for an arena deal, and therefore left out that inconvenient question?
That's really a question for them. But to be fair to them, none of my colleagues, including me, are experts in poll design. But to me, it seemed pretty obvious I'd want to ask that question. All right, thanks everybody. I got to run.
Thanks, man.